was listening to Rob Moore actually on a Facebook Live, and he was talking about the topic of hate. Actually, why people hate each other, or why people actually hate you. So, in as much as it's all about not about you and about the people themselves, it's something that we can actually master, not to actually take personal as well. So he shared four things actually why, four reasons why actually people hate, as well as the purpose of hate, because believe it or not, there's actually a purpose how you can actually use hate for good actually, and also three ways how you can actually deal with hate as well. So if you look at the reasons for as a starting point, now why do people actually hate other people? Why do they actually hate you? So one of the first reasons is that people will hate because they hate themselves. What does that mean? People who have low esteem, for example, who have low self-worth, because the universe is almost like a mirror. It will give you back what you give to the universe. So if you're someone who has self-worth, people will hate because they are trying to actually pull others to their level as well. If you have someone who has actually love, people who have abundance, that's what they will emit as well, and they will love others as well. So if you want to actually handle hate in a different way, you have to change how you see it and how you actually respond to it as well. So be the change that you want to see in the world. So if you handle hate with love, then you can actually deal with it that way, instead of just handling hate with hate itself. But that's one of the key reasons why people hate, because it's a reflection of themselves. They don't like the way they are themselves. They hate themselves. They have low self-worth, and they will reflect that into the universe and actually try to pull others to their level as well. So that's one of the reasons you can have hate. The second is that they've failed where you are winning, or they envy what you've got. So if people have been hustling and bustling, and they haven't been achieving what they need to achieve, and they see you excelling and achieving those kind of things, they can have that bit of envy and hurt actually, because it sort of picks a scab in them, that jealousy, that envy. So it's all about them actually. But we don't have to change people hating, but the world changes when we change. So the way that we can see hate and change the way we deal with it is the best way to actually look at it. It's not about looking out there and asking people to actually change, but if we show them love, if we see it in a different way, we see hate and change how we deal with it by dealing it with love, we can actually help those people as well to actually look at it in a different way, because they have to look into themselves to actually understand that the problem is essentially in them. So where they've failed in places where you're winning, or they envy what you have, people will actually hurt you, because it's picking that scab in them. That jealousy and envy will come out because it's all about them. Now, the third part as well, the third reason people will actually hurt as well, is that they have an inferiority or a superiority complex. So where people perceive you as being above them, they will actually envy and try to actually pull pull you down. When they actually see that you are below them, they will sort of push you down, because they actually demean you and see you as some sort of subhuman in a way. So that's one of the reasons as well people will hate, because of that inferiority or superiority complex as well in them. The best way to actually be balanced in a way and see everyone as equal, because where you actually elevate someone, or you pedestalize them, the only way is down. So and if you actually look people down as if they are lower than you, again, that is not a good position, because you're demeaning people and you don't see them as being your equals. So it's important actually to have and see everyone as an equal, so that it is at that level that there's actually no hurt. If you actually look at hate in that way, that there is no, you don't look at anyone as being above you or below you, but you are actually balanced. That is the way that you're preventing yourself from that fall from a pedestal, but you can actually elevate yourself by taking hate as something to actually help you to grow as well, to bring you up. So you have to strike that kind of balance so that you see everyone as equal. You don't see anyone as being better than you. You see that you can achieve anything that someone else has achieved, and also you don't see yourself being below anyone or above anyone, but we are all on an equal footing. And the fourth reason is that you trigger something in people that will actually bring them to that head, because it reminds them something from their past or something that has happened to them. So for example, if it's someone who has lost money in a deal, or something has happened to them about money, and you are on about how successful and how things are going, it can actually hit that nerve in them, so which can bring out that that anger and that hate in them, because it's actually touching a nerve, it's triggering something in them. So again, it's all about them and what has happened to them, which will actually bring out that hurt as well. So when you actually understand those things, you can understand that most of the time when people are hurting, it's one of those four reasons or a combination of them. So it's most of the time not about you, it's about them. Either they hate themselves because they have low self-esteem, they failed where you are winning and they envy what you have, or they have an inferiority or superiority complex, or you're triggering something in them that is actually causing them to actually hurt you. Now, if you think about it now, what can be the actual purpose of hurt? Because we can use hurt as actually a feedback mechanism, because sometimes it's about you. If you do something incorrect or you need to take actually feedback, then you can be criticized. But in a way, that should come in a form of criticism, not hate. But we can't choose how people react to us based on what we've done. So sometimes it can be about you, but you just have to see what it is that is actually happening to trigger those things in people to actually portray or bring that hate towards you. But hate can be used for good actually, because you can use it to grow. You should actually welcome it, because it actually forces you to go inside, to look at yourself and evaluate what you're actually doing. Because if you're too cocky and arrogant, when you're just receiving love, that doesn't give you that balance. Because if you're only receiving only love, you can become complacent and actually not be paying attention to how you're conducting yourself. And also, if you're just receiving hate only, then you can break as well. So you need balance so that you are at your most useful in society, when you actually have that balance as well. So you can use hurt. If people are portraying this, you don't have to you don't have to actually just ignore them in a way. You can actually use that to look into yourself as feedback, to look into the ways that you're actually not doing well, or where you can actually improve, and take that criticism and engage with them so that you can actually help it to grow. Because one of the mistakes that sometimes we can make is to look at haters as being below or above us. So your haters, if you look at everyone as being at the same or equal level, then you don't judge haters as being actually below you. You can use that feedback to actually grow. So there are actually three ways that you can actually deal with hate. So the first is just to ignore it. You just ignore. If it's something that is touching a nerve, just report it, whether it's in social media. Ignore and forget and leave it for the authorities or whoever to deal with it. The second option you can do is to actually engage in it, and that is the part that can actually help you grow, because it improves your mental health, your mental attitude, to actually help you even in that social growth as well, because you're understanding what it is that is triggering the people. Is there areas that can actually help you to actually grow and improve and do things better, and it can help you to actually look at it for what it is and actually treat it and handle it with love. Because if we are going to be the change agent that we want to see in the world, we have to look at hate in a different way. So instead of giving hate for hate, the people will change when they see that you're fighting or you're giving the hate, you're dealing it with love. That's how they can actually help to actually see that, I'm portraying this hate on this person, but all they are giving is love. So you can debate it and don't take it personally, and that can actually help you grow. And you can even change their mind as well. If it's a healthy engagement, a healthy debate, it can actually help you as well. In social media circles, you have these big people with a lot of followers. They will have a lot of criticism, and others as well come to actually defend it. Before you know it, there is actually a big sort of engagement in the conversation that can actually drive traffic as well. So that can be something that gives you some social growth in that context when you're actually engaging it. The third part that you can do as well is to empathize with it. So you cue them with kindness, cue the hate with kindness, because when you have empathy, you have love. Because when you actually sit to actually see and understand where it's coming from the person, you could actually pick up that maybe there's something that is particularly difficult that has happened in their life. And if you can empathize and sympathize with their situation, that can actually be the love that actually changes their mind and actually helps them to grow as well. So how we see hate and change how we actually deal with it is the way to actually see the change and be the change that we want to see in the world as well. So I hope that's been quite useful to understand that all the four reasons that we've shared why people hate, and also the purpose of it and how you can actually use it as feedback to evaluate what you're doing. If you're being arrogant because you're just receiving that love, then the only way is down. And if you're just receiving hate, it can break you. But if you receive it in a way that is helping you to grow, then you can actually use it in a healthy way that actually progresses your success as well. And the three ways to deal with it: you can ignore it, but if you have the stamina, the mental health to actually understand and not take it personally, you can actually engage, because a healthy engagement can actually help you to improve, to for you to give that love, to debate, not take it personally, and it can help you in the social growth as well. But the biggest one of all is how you can actually empathize with it. You can kill it with kindness, offer love, be the change agent that you want to see, and see it in a different way, that you can actually sympathize with the situation of people and actually try and engage in a more loving way that can actually show them that there is a different way to deal with situations as well. So I hope that's been quite useful to understand the dynamics around health and around hate. And I hope you go out there, experience, learn and grow, and just give out the love there. Whatever happens, whatever hate is happening, deal with it by seeing it in a different light and dealing with it in a different way, by giving it love and also helping and engaging, so that you can actually use it for your growth as well. So until next time, cheerio.